Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be doing a weapon progression guide for new players and really just anyone in general. Just, what path is the best to go. I see a lot of people kind of still debating whether to go like Raven or Riftwalk Dawnforge, whether to go Storm Dragon now because of the reductions. There's a lot of different weapon paths, and I just want to do a little guide on what I think is still the best paths to go for the majority of the players playing this game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little guide. It's going to be pretty quick, not that long of a video. I don't want to kind of take too much of your time. But the first thing we'll be covering is how to unlock your 6 gem slots on your weapon. I know this is kind of a basic theme, but there's still a lot of new players out there that don't know. And again, I know there is an event going on right now where you get a free Rift or Dawn Stage 3 weapon, but eventually that event will end, and I want to have this video out so, the people who maybe didn't catch the event going on, they can still get a 6 gem slot unlocked weapon. So if you already know this, because I have covered this in my videos before, you can kind of skip ahead a little bit. But if you don't know this, this is going to be a really good tip and help you out and save you a lot of gold in the long term. What you want to do is come to the Grand Harvest Square. If you're not aware where that is, or maybe you have a bad memory like myself and you forgot, go to the Silfrost Mountains, and then you'll just TP here. You'll talk to this coin exchange merchant, and she has some really creepy eyeballs, so watch your back. And basically you can do this, after you're level 55 if you want. Or you can just do it at level 50, because either way you can equip the weapon at 50, whenever you want to do it. Basically what you'll do is come to this lady and buy some light weapons or dark weapon chests, depending on what class you are. So light weapon is Syrup, dark weapon is Baleful. Almost every class in this game will go the dark weapon, aka Baleful, because this is overall a better weapon for the majority of them. A few classes are unique that go light weapon. For example, Warden can go the light weapon. Warlock always goes light weapon. This is overall better for them. There's a few other classes, so I'll leave like a little text on the screen. You'll see it in a second, and it'll just have a list of the classes, so you don't have to, wonder. Basically, the reason why you're buying these chests is because you want to keep opening them until you get a 6 gem slot unlocked weapon. Now, the reason why you don't want to, upgrade any weapon or anything before you do this is because obviously you don't want to upgrade, let's say, a Baleful weapon to stage 6, and then you only have 4 gem slots unlocked, and then you have to go here and get a stage 1 with 6 gem slots. You want to do this right away before you upgrade any weapon, because otherwise you're wasting materials. So you want to get all 6 gem slots unlocked, because then you can put the max amount of gems allowed into the weapon, which in turn will, as you see, you won't have these tier gems because these are pretty high tier gems for, a new player. But these give you attack power, a lot of it for the higher tiers, and they give you little additional bonus effects like critical hits and stuff like that. So very useful to get all 6 gem slots. And you want to knock this out right away, because if you don't, you'll have to use legendary gem hammers to unlock the additional stages in your weapon. And overall, that's very expensive and it's just very time consuming, so I don't recommend that. So what you can do is buy from her, and I'll show you guys a little example. So I'll open up both of these real quick. Let's see if I get lucky. And for this one, I got 4 gem slots, and let's check out the Baleful chest real quick. So this one, I only got 3 slots. So you'll see right here, obviously this is the worst case scenario. You do not want to get 3 gem slots. You want to get all 6 unlocked, and otherwise you have to do legendary gem hammers. And if you try to go on the marketplace, they're 40 gold a piece. So you really don't want to do that. And keep in mind, you can unlock additional gem slots by upgrading your weapon. Every time you upgrade your weapon, you have an RNG chance to unlock another gem slot. But this is RNG, so why would you risk the chance of not getting a gem slot unlocked when you just get all 6 unlocked for free right away? Or for a few Nari coin, Nari silver, but still pretty free because those are easy to get. So I really recommend doing this right away. I showed, the Syrup, it has 4 gem slots, but I want all 6, so I'll open it one more time. Let's see if I get lucky. Do 1 of each. Help me out on this video, guys. Let's see if I get this lucky chest opening. Got 3, definitely don't want that. And I got 3, so I'm getting really garbage RNG, but all you gotta do is keep doing this. Usually it takes me around 3 to 5 tries to get all 6 gem slots unlocked. It is RNG, so you might get it on the first try, you might get it on the 20th try. You just have to keep trying. Once you get unlocked, it's going to help you out a lot, because it's going to have your weapon all set to go, and then literally you can just start upgrading this weapon forever and ever and ever, because it's all set. It has all 6 gem slots unlocked. You don't have to worry about RNG, hoping that, you get your 6 gem slot unlocked, because you have them all unlocked already, because you prepared for it by doing this. So this is a really great step for someone who's not aware. I hope this kind of helped you out, and definitely do this right away before you upgrade any weapon in this game. So after that, you're going to upgrade your Syrup or Baleful weapon all the way to stage 12. And really upgrading to stage 12 nowadays is very, very cheap. The great thing with this recent patch is what they did is they removed all the legendary elements and the transformation stones that were required previously to upgrade the Seraph and Baleful weapons. So now they cost 0, and this is a big reduction because those were pretty expensive items. So I really recommend going all the way to stage 12. Before, it was kind of pricey with the legendary elements and the transformation stones, but nowadays there's no point to stop at stage 10 because stage 11 through 12 is actually pretty damn cheap compared to what it used to be. So after you get stage 12 Seraph or Baleful, you have two different choices to either go Raven stage 3 or Riftwalk Dawnforge stage 3 path. And basically these two different paths are a little bit different. Rift and Dawn is going to be a cheaper path than Raven, but it's going to be a weaker weapon. Raven is, the quote-unquote raid weapon. It requires raid materials, but in turn, it's going to be a more expensive weapon, but it's going to give you more power with the Raven effect for the majority of the classes. Compared to the Riftwalk and Dawnforge, where most of the stuff you'll get, example, like the weapon chests you need to upgrade to each stage, you'll get these from running dungeons and doing like Celestial Basin and stuff like that and buying the weapon chest, so you don't have to really do any type of raid content. So these were put in the game just to kind of give you a little bit of choices. For a long time, Raven was the dominant path because it was actually cheaper, but now with this patch they made Rift and Dawn even more cheaper than Raven, so now you can kind of choose whatever path you want to go. And to me, it really just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for more power right now, Raven is obviously going to be the stronger choice. Honestly, most of the raid materials you can buy for really cheap, like the Raven King Souls are really cheap right now. The upgrade material that you need to go into Raven is really cheap now, like around like 15 to 20 gold for a sealed one, which used to be around like freaking over 500, so very cheap now. Raven King Souls I think are like they're like 4 gold a piece right now in the marketplace, so very cheap if you want to go the Raven path. But the thing to mention is that if you go the Raven path, the majority of the stages cost premium transformation stones, where Riftwalk and Dawnforge costs 0 premium transformation stones for the stages anymore. So this is a big reduction because, obviously premium transformation stones are almost 400 gold a piece. So saving, not having to spend any for the Rift and Dawn stage is a really big deal, honestly. And the great thing is that in addition with this event that's going on right now, you can get a Rift or Dawn weapon stage 3 for free. So literally you can just skip all these stages right here and just go all the way up into Raven 9 from transferring over from Rift and Dawn. So there's a lot of options, and honestly Rift and Dawn is looking like the better path to go for the majority of players. Not to mention that Rift and Dawn is actually pretty good for some classes. For example, I believe Shadow Warlock is pretty strong with that. I'm not sure if Ice Warlock is. I also know that Earth Destroyers are very good with Rift and Dawn path. Very awesome. They do a lot of good damage, and they actually stay on this path all the way up to Storm Dragon for Earth Destroyers. So this is good for them. Also, the Warden class is very strong with Rift and Dawn, so a few classes are actually pretty good with it. But the majority of the classes, if you go it, you're going to get a little bit weaker stats and just overall be weaker. But if you go Rift and Dawn, you're saving around over 2,000 gold. So, it's just one of those things where you have to decide on what you want. I've had a few people where I've tried to convince to go the Rift and Dawn route, and they're like, no, I just want to go Raven. I want more power right now. So it kind of depends on you. But personally for me, I really recommend basically everyone just going the Rift and Dawn path because, saving over 2,000 gold is a really big deal. And then eventually you'll go up to Riftwalk 9, and unless you're an Earth Destroyer, you're just going to go right into Raven 9 and then up into Aranzu 3. So that's really the path you'll go. You'll go Seraph or Baleful stage 12 into Riftwalk 3, or you'll get it from the event, the Riftwalk Dawnforge stage 3 for free if you do the event. But once the event ends, you upgrade to it, and then you go up to Riftwalk or Dawnforge stage 9, transfer over to Raven 9. It'll cost you a pristine oil, which is basically just a sacred oil that you just have to transmute. It costs a premium transformation stone and some Raven Souls. Transfer over to Raven 9, and then you upgrade to Aranzu 3. So that's like the majority of the classes that go that. Only class that goes Storm Dragon that I recommend is Earth Destroyer. Anything other than that is a complete waste of time and gold. So that's really the weapon path progression. After that, you just upgrade from Aranzu to Grand Celestial Weapon, which is going to take a very long time for really anyone playing this game, especially if you're free to play, well over probably a year to get Grand Celestial if you're free to play. So this is just a really long-term weapon upgrading guide, but I just want to, recommend what you want, but it just kind of depends, as I said. But I really recommend the Rift and Dawn path because the amount of gold you're saving, unless you're like really greedy and you want like a lot of DPS like right now, then I don't recommend going the Raven path anymore. It's just too much gold and material to go this path compared to Rift and Dawn.